this video, we're going to take a look at Litepanels Astra 6x. Now, Litepanels, of course, they were a very early innovator with LED lighting for the film and TV industry, and their 1x1 panel became the ubiquitous kind of standard design. The Astra 6x is their latest iteration of that, and it is definitely an industry standard. Of course, one of the reasons it's such a standard is the output on this light. It's reported to consume only 105 watts. We will, of course, measure that, but it does have a tremendous amount of punch, I believe, because of this panel here, these lenses in front of the LEDs. But let's go take a quick measurement. We have placed our light exactly 10 feet away from our light meter. We're going to get some readings in foot candles and also with conventional readings at full power at 5600 degrees Kelvin and also at 3200 degrees Kelvin. And if there is something in between that's a little brighter, we'll get that measurement also. And we'll also take our color meter and get a reading on color temperature and CRI. We get 120 foot candles at 10 feet. Now, in more conventional terms, if our camera's rated at an ISO of 800, 180 degree shutter, 24 frames per second, we get an f8.4, so almost 8.5 on a f-stop, so f8.4. And on the color meter, we are getting 6343 Kelvin at a 95.7. Let's see, can you see that? 63. Now with the Astra set to full warm or 3200 degrees on the dial, we are getting 97 foot candles. 97 foot candles, or again, at an ISO 800, we're getting an f8.1, just a hair over an f8. And on the color meter, we have a 3208, so almost precisely 3200 degrees Kelvin at a 98.2 on the CRI. So definitely the Astra seems to really like Now with the Astra's color dial right smack in the middle, we are getting 120 foot candles still. And on our meter here, we are at 4390 Kelvin at a CRI of 95.9. With our Astra on at full power, let's take our splitter and measure it with the ammeter. All right, right now this Astra is pulling 0.82 amps. 0.82 amps, so at 120 volts, that's going to be about a little over 98 watts of power consumption. So right now we're pulling 98 watts. Now moving to the business side of the Astra, we see back here basically two dials. They are our color temperature and our dimmer. Now in this particular light, we can of course go full up to off, all the way down. It dims down to 0, which is a great feature to have. Here's our color temperature. Again, it's rated between 5600 degrees Kelvin and 3200 degrees Kelvin, and there is no digital readout on the temperature. You do have to do this by eye, looking at the monitor, or of course using a color meter. The Astras can take additional modules, I believe right over here. In particular, they can take a DMX module. This light does not have it, nor do I have a DMX panel, so I can't test that for you. Otherwise, the AC power supply mounts right to the yoke, as does the battery plate, and connects right up here to your standard repin Canon XLR. One accessory you're probably most definitely going to want to use with the Astras are a softbox. As you can see, they fit right over the light, and this particular softbox measures 16 by 16. There are, of course, a number of manufacturers, and this light came with the snap bags, which, as you can see right here, they just pop open. They have their shape. You slip it over the light, add some straps, and then add the diffusion of your choice. This setup is my bottom line color fidelity test. Now, up here on screen left, we have the Astra 6x, and on screen right, we have natural daylight coming through a window. Today, unfortunately, again, it's been cloudy all week, and it's going to continue to be cloudy. So the color temperature is a little cool outside. It's about 6,000 degrees Kelvin. Typically, I prefer to have a bright sunny day with the sunlight at noontime streaming through the window. we cover it with fusion, and we get something much closer to 5600 degrees Kelvin, but today we're at 6000. The Astra over here is maxed out at its rated 5600 degrees Kelvin. What I'm looking for in all these tests is to see if there's a color cast between artificial and natural daylight. Is there particularly a green in the shadows that that takes a lot of work to get out of? Is the skin tone overly magenta? Is there a magenta boost? Or is it pretty close and fairly natural, and is it acceptable? So that's what this test is. Astra 6x, cloudy day on the right. That about wraps it up for Litepanels Astra 6x. Now, as you saw, this is a very straightforward, simple, lightweight, 1x1 panel bicolor light that packs a tremendous punch for its form factor and power draw, and it's easy to see why this is one of our industry standards.